All right, Chargers fans, let's get real for a second. Everybody's been talking about the draft class, right? Omarion Hampton, Trey Harris, Branson Taylor, all the big names that the Chargers picked up with those shiny draft picks. But what if I told you the real story of the Jim Harbaugh era might have started after the draft ended? Yeah, you heard that right. We're talking about the undrafted guys, the ones nobody paid much attention to on draft weekend, the ones who didn't hear their names called, the guys who hit the league with a chip on their shoulder and something to prove. And if you watched rookie minicamp closely, you know exactly where I'm going with this. Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers brought in 18 undrafted free agents. And I'm telling you, a few of these guys, they've already started turning heads. What's up, Chargers fans? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Chargers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about breaking down everything you need to know about the Bolts. Now, if you followed Harbaugh's career, none of this should surprise you. This is exactly his style. He doesn't care about stars. He doesn't care about draft rankings. He cares about football players. He cares about competition. And let me tell you, he's already building that kind of culture in Los Angeles. Harbaugh didn't just roll out a normal rookie camp. No, he changed the whole format. Less team stuff, more individual work, more one-on-one time. He wanted to make sure that every single player, drafted or undrafted, got their shot to show what they can do. And when he stepped in front of the media, he didn't waste any time letting us know who caught his eye. He mentioned 3 names right away: Raheim Sanders, Luke Grimm, and Stevo Klotz. Those are the guys who, according to Harbaugh himself, popped on tape. So let's break down why those 3 are worth watching. Let's start with Raheim Sanders. You might know him better as Rocket. This dude is built like a freight train. 6'2", about 225 pounds, and when does he get going downhill? Good luck stopping him. He was an absolute beast in the SEC back in 2022. Over 1,400 rushing yards, 10 touchdowns, and he was averaging 6.5 yards per carry against some of the best defenses in the country. That's not a typo. 6.5. Then injuries hit him in 2023 and his stock took a hit. He transferred to South Carolina for a fresh start and still put up solid numbers, over 800 yards and 11 touchdowns. Yet somehow, draft weekend came and went, and nobody called his name. But Harbaugh noticed. Harbaugh called his tape great, and the Chargers treated him like a priority free agent from the jump. Here's the crazy part. Sanders was the only undrafted rookie who didn't have to do extra conditioning after practice. That's something the coaches usually reserve for draft picks. That tells you exactly how serious they are about him. And let's be real here. The Chargers' running back room is wide open. Sure, they spent a first rounder on Omarion Hampton, but behind him, there's room for a guy like Sanders to carve out a role. Joshua Kelly, Isaiah Spiller. None of those guys have locked anything down long term. If Sanders keeps showing that combination of size, vision, and power that made him a star in the SEC, he's going to make this roster, maybe even push for carries earlier than people think. Harbaugh loves backs who run angry, and Sanders runs like every carry is personal. Next up, Luke Grimm. Now, this is a guy who wasn't really on a lot of people's radar, but let me tell you something. He's already catching the coach's attention. Grimm's not the biggest guy on the field. He's not the fastest, but man, this dude is a technician. Polished roots, great hands, smart football player. He led Kansas in receiving last year with 51 catches, nearly 700 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And here's what stands out. He's had 6 touchdowns in 3 straight seasons. That's consistency. That's production. And that's the kind of guy who sneaks onto rosters because he just keeps making plays. But here's where it gets interesting. Grimm also has special teams value. He returned kicks and punts at Kansas, and if you know anything about roster battles in the NFL, you know special teams can make or break your shot. Grimm's already shown he can handle that role, and if he keeps flashing that route running polish in camp, he might just push for that final receiver spot on the roster. The Chargers have Ladd McConkey, Quentin Johnston, Trey Harris, and a couple other names pretty locked in. But teams usually keep 6 receivers. That 6th spot, it's wide open. And if Grimm can prove he's reliable on special teams and move the chains as a slot guy, he might just sneak his way in. Don't be surprised if you see him returning kicks in preseason games while making a couple clutch catches in the 4th quarter. And finally, let's talk about Stevo Klotz. Look, I get it. Nobody's buying jerseys for fullbacks, but let me tell you something. Every good team has guys who do dirty work. Klotz is that guy. He started his college career on defense, switched to offense, and carved out a role as a physical, tough-nosed fullback and tight end at Iowa State, two-time All-Big 12 as a fullback. That tells you all you need to know about how much his coaches trusted him. Harbaugh came out and flat-out said Klotz has a shot to be an above-average special teams player in the NFL. That's high praise in coach speak. Klotz isn't going to light up the stat sheet. He's not out here catching 50 passes, but he's the kind of player who makes the plays nobody notices until you watch the film. Lead blocks, punt coverage, kick returns. Harbaugh loves physical football, and Klotz brings that. Think about Harbaugh's time with the 49ers. He built an offense that used fullbacks and heavy packages. Don't be shocked if Klotz ends up as that kind of utility player. He's fighting for a very specific role, but Harbaugh clearly sees value in him. And let's be honest, those are the guys fans end up loving when they make a clutch block on 4th and 1. But those aren't the only names to watch. Let's talk about a few more under-the-radar players who could shake up this roster. Starting with DJ Uiagalelei. Yeah, remember him? The former 5-star Clemson quarterback. He's had a wild ride. Clemson, Oregon State, Florida State, and now here he is, fighting for a shot as an undrafted rookie. Harbaugh's already been seen coaching him up in drills, which tells you they're taking him seriously. The quarterback room is crowded with Justin Herbert, Taylor Heineke, and Trey Lance, but DJ is here to compete. Don't count him out just yet. And what about the cornerback battle? Jordan Oladokun from Bowling Green led his team with 5 interceptions last year. The Chargers brought in 4 undrafted corners because, let's be honest, that position needed help. Oladokun has a real shot to stand out if he can keep making plays on the ball. 1 or 2 big moments in the preseason could vault him into serious roster consideration. Let's not forget the big boys up front either. Harbaugh brought in 4 massive offensive linemen. Guys like Savion Washington, who's 6'9" and 340 pounds. That's not a typo. These dudes are huge. The Chargers need depth on the O-line, and Harbaugh clearly wants more size and power in the trenches. These linemen are going to get every chance to fight for backup spots. And if you want experience, Marlowe Wax at linebacker's a name to remember. Nearly 300 career tackles at Syracuse. Team captain, high production. He's undersized, but man, this guy just finds the football. That's exactly the kind of player who sneaks onto special teams units and sticks around longer than people expect. At the end of the day, this is all part of Harbaugh's bigger plan. He's not just here to collect names. He's here to build a roster full of tough, hungry football players. Draft status doesn't matter. Star rankings don't matter. All that matters is what you do when you step on that field. Harbaugh's making that crystal clear, and honestly, it's refreshing to see. He's giving every single player a shot to earn their place. No handouts, no guarantees. So let me ask you, who's your favorite underdog in this class? Is it Rocket Sanders? Luke Grimm? Maybe Stevo Klotz or one of those big offensive linemen? Drop your pick down in the comments.